Choosing a content management system, or CMS, well, it's kind of like buying a suit. Do you go for a bespoke, custom-tailored one that fits you and only you, but takes a whole lot of time and money? Or do you grab a stylish, versatile one right off the rack? That's exactly the choice we're going to break down in this explainer to help you find the absolute perfect fit for your business.
So here's what we've got on the agenda. First, what even is a CMS? Then we'll look at the two big choices, build versus buy. We'll pit them against each other on 6 key differences, give you a checklist to make the right call, and wrap up by looking at some real-world platforms.
Okay, first things first. Before we can even get into that big build versus buy debate, we've got to be on the same page. What exactly is a content management system? And, why is it so important in the first place?
Think of it this way. A CMS is basically the engine room for your website. It's the software that lets you and your whole team create, edit, and publish all your content without needing to be, a coding genius. It's pretty much the control panel for your entire online world.
So why bother with a CMS at all? I mean, is it just about making things easier? Well, not really. It's way more than that. We're talking about efficiency, keeping your branding on point, making it super easy for your team to collaborate. Heck, it can even give you a serious boost in your SEO. For any serious business today, it's really not optional.
Okay, so that brings us to the big question, right? The whole reason we're here. When you need that powerful engine for your site, do you try to build it from scratch, piece by piece, or do you just buy a high-performance model that's already built and ready to go? Yep, this is the classic build versus buy showdown. So the build path, this is where you create a totally custom CMS. This is that bespoke suit we talked about. It's designed from the ground up, tailored to fit your specific needs and workflows perfectly. You see huge companies like the New York Times or Tesla doing this, but that's because their needs are so incredibly unique. Nothing off the rack would ever work for them.
Then you've got the buy path, and this, of course, is our off-the-rack suit. You're starting with a super powerful pre-built platform. Think WordPress, think Shopify. The big advantage? It's ready to go, like right now, and you can still customize it a ton with different themes and plugins to really make it feel like yours.
All right, so we've got our two paths clear, right? The custom road and the ready-made highway. But how do you actually choose which one to take? Well, to do that, we need to put them head-to-head. Let's dig into the 6 key differences that really set them apart.
We're talking about stuff like launch time, cost, how big of a team you need, the things that actually matter. These are the practical, real-world factors that are going to hit your budget, your timeline, and just how you work every single day.
This table gives us a fantastic bird's-eye view. Right away, you can see the trade-offs. Custom gives you amazing flexibility, but man, it's going to cost you in time and complexity. Platforms, they're faster and easier pretty much everywhere, but you do have some limits. Okay, so let's zoom in and tackle each of these one by one.
First up, launch time. And let's be real, this one's a biggie. If you need to get your site live fast, there's no contest. A platform wins, hands down. A custom build is a marathon. We're talking months, maybe even years. A platform is a sprint. You could literally be up and running in a few days.
All right, so if platforms are so much faster, why would anyone build custom? Well, it comes down to this. Customization. With a custom CMS, the flexibility is basically infinite. I mean, if you can imagine it, your developers can build it. With a platform, you get a ton of options for sure, but you're always playing inside their sandbox, by their rules.
Next up, team complexity. Or to put it simply, who do you need to hire? Building a custom CMS is not a solo project. You need a whole crew of specialized developers, front-end, back-end, the works. On the flip side, most platforms are built so that one person, maybe a marketer or a writer, can get the whole thing set up without writing a single line of code.
Okay, this next one is huge, and people often forget about it. User experience. When you build custom, you have to design, test, and figure out the entire user interface from scratch. That's a massive, ongoing job. But with a platform, you're not just buying software, you're buying years, literally years of testing and feedback from millions of users. The UX is already battle-tested. This one's easy to picture. Just think of platforms as having their own app stores. You need a new feature, like a calendar or an SEO tool? There's probably a plugin for that you can install in a click. With a custom build, if you want something new, well, you got to get your developers to build it, and then maintain it forever.
And that brings us to maintenance and support. This is maybe the biggest hidden cost of going custom. See, the work doesn't stop when you launch. Nope. You've basically just become your own software company. You are now 100% responsible for every security update, every bug fix, everything. With the platform, the company behind it handles all that core stuff for you. It's a huge weight off your shoulders.
Phew. Okay, so we've looked at the evidence, right? We've compared these two options across 6 really important areas. So what does this all mean for you? Let's boil it all down into a super simple checklist to help you make the right choice.
Here's the bottom line. You should only, and I mean only, go custom if you can check off all 3 of these boxes. 1. You have a team of specialized developers on staff. 2. Your needs are so specific that no platform on earth can meet them. And 3. You actually want to build your own CMS as a product. If you can't say yes, yes, and yes, then the answer is simple. Customize an existing platform.
Okay, so for most of us, it sounds like a platform is the way to go. But platform is kind of a vague word, isn't it? So to make this more real, let's take a quick look at 3 of the big players out there and see who they're really built for.
First, you've got the 800-pound gorilla, WordPress. I mean, this thing powers a massive chunk of the entire internet, and for good reason. Its biggest strength is its sheer flexibility, thanks to a gigantic library of plugins and themes. It's pretty much the go-to for small to medium-sized businesses, bloggers, you name it.
But what if your whole business is about selling products online? Well, then you'd want a specialist. That's where something like Magento comes in. It's an e-commerce powerhouse, built from the ground up for one thing: selling. It can handle massive product catalogs, pricing, payments, the whole shebang for a serious online store.
Then you have the enterprise level. This is the big leagues. We're talking about systems like Sitecore. This is for huge, global companies that are juggling crazy complex websites across different countries and brands. They need heavy-duty personalization, deep analytics, all the bells and whistles.
And there you have it. We've defined what a CMS is, we've walked down the 2 main paths, and we've compared them on all the key points. Now you've got the framework to think about your own needs, your team, and your budget. So the final question, that's for you. Are you going to order that custom-tailored suit? Or are you going to grab that stylish one right off the rack?